Okay, so today is a big day for you. Is it a big day for you?
It's sort of. I think it's one of those things that has been bothering me. It's been sort of like loitering around the back of my mind for a while.
So let's just be clear about this so that people aren't sort of too concerned about what this big thing, that big day that might be sort of loitering at the back of your mind for a while. It's about you going to the dentist today.
I'm going to the dentist today.
Yeah, so how often have you ever gone to the dentist in your life?
Well, between once every 9 months to 2 years.
Okay, so that's the sort of average time. And why, can I just ask, why is it that you have chosen that sort of time span?
Because I've never needed to go to the dentist. Basically, I don't have any fillings. And the only reason I generally have to go to the dentist is because my teeth are nuclear resistant.
Are they? What, they're like cockroaches?
They're like cockroaches, only they don't crawl around everywhere. And basically, they just need cleaning up. They stain after an extended period of time.
Okay.
But that was it. Until I had this monumental pain developing here.
Wow.
I went,
how long have you had that pain?
Oh no! It sort of burst out. It happened about a month ago.
Oh right, okay.
And it was a Friday night, and I started to think, there's something going on here.
Yes.
And then the Saturday morning, the pain was just awful,
Right.
and my face was swelling down there, and I was having trouble even opening my mouth, let alone chewing.
Yes.
And anyway, so but I then I was taking ibuprofen.
Right.
And that sort of business, and very suddenly, after a while, it then just all went down again.
Right.
So I then tried to register with an NHS dentist.
Now this is an interesting bit, isn't it? Because how easy was it for you to find an NHS dentist here in Thanet?
Well, it's never been easy. I mean, I've lived here for 10 years, and in all the time I've lived here, when we first moved here, there were no dentists, NHS dentists taking.
No, I know, that was the
patients.
same here when I moved with my son.
And so the closest, there was a practice in Sandwich,
Right.
which is a sort of like a 20-minute drive,
Okay, yes, that's
or Herne
quite a
Bay,
way if you,
which is 25 minutes drive going
or
towards
a
London.
train journey.
Or a train journey.
Yes, which is crazy, isn't it? Really?
It is crazy. And
Yes.
I mean, they were very good. It was like a place called ADP. They've changed
Yes.
the name. It's now the New Street Practice
Right.
in Sandwich. And then about 2 years into our stay here, a new NHS practice opened in Broadstairs High Street,
Okay, yes.
which again was very good, except that in my view they were sort of like running a sort of fascist dictatorship.
How do you mean?
Well, ADP in Sandwich, they would bombard you with texts to remind you
Okay.
when your appointment was.
Yes.
And I'd got into
I
the
get
habit
that as well. Being prompted.
I'd got into the habit of being given 24 hours notice, 12 hours notice, 3 hours notice, 2 hours notice.
Blimey.
It wasn't quite as obsessive as that, but I did receive a few texts.
Yes.
Whereas the fascist dictatorship in Broadstairs didn't remind you at all.
Oh,
and I
right.
remember I turned up late. I was 10 minutes late, and they wouldn't see me.
Wow.
And then they struck me off the list for being unreliable.
Are you serious?
And they wouldn't allow me to then re-register.
Wow.
And so I then started using
yes.
a private practice
Yes.
in Broadstairs.
Uh-huh.
And in fact, they've been doing the stuff, 35 quid a session.
Yes.
And they were telling me
standard,
that because I had a little bit of an issue with that
Yes.
tooth
That tooth.
a couple of years ago.
Oh, did you?
But they checked it out and they said there wasn't any problem.
Yes.
But when it flared up, I thought I better register with the NHS, otherwise I'll be paying hundreds of pounds.
So today, what's happening with your teeth today then?
They're taking it out.
They're taking it out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think I would be a bit slightly quaking in my shoes
Yes.
for that.
I'm not so much quaking. It's just in my life I've had a few operations that have been really one or two operations that have been really quite unpleasant.
Have you?
And I can't imagine this one's going to be very nice at all.
Yes, and you're going to be awake for this one. Yes, I can remember.
Unless I pass out.
And when you
which I
yes, yes. Yes.
But you see,
so what I'm wondering, so here in Thanet, I'm aware of an NHS. So there's the Sandwich one.
yes.
There's one in Broadstairs.
There's actually another one in Churchill here in Ramsgate, and that's part of the same company that also runs the one in Sandwich, but their lists are full. I went there first.
Yes.
Because it's only sort of like 5 minutes from where I live.
Because they also always do part private as well, don't they? So it's
Yes.
not. And some of them, they limit their what's available or the NHS availability to just children, don't they?
Yes, there's one on the other side of Ramsgate that only
The
take children.
The Dumpton one, I think, isn't it? Yes, and so when you consider actually just the sort of economic base that's here, and the level of poverty that's here, I mean, I wonder how we're going to have to do some research, aren't we, to find out how many people get access to NHS dentistry.
Well, do you know, I mean, I think this is all part of a much bigger question about the NHS once you get out of London. Being a Londoner, I mean, I've lived here for just over 10 years now.
Yes.
And the thing about living in London and the immediate area around London is that you are used to, okay, the NHS is overstretched, but it's still better funded than it is out here.
Yes.
We've got the QEQM in Margate,
Yes.
which has an A&E department, and the hospital, it's been obvious for a while that the NHS wants to close the A&E department.
Yes. Well, but they've closed the one in Canterbury.
Yes.
And so, I mean, there's stories of people. Who was it? There was somebody I was talking to who was saying that a friend or a relative of theirs had taken somebody into QEQM to casualty, and she'd had to sort of pop away for a bit. When she came back, I mean, casualty was just jam-packed. And there was this sort of line of ambulances with people inside the ambulances. This woman was having to knock on the doors of the ambulances to find whether her relative had been sort of parked, as she was very sick, in one of these ambulances. And that was the state of our National Health Service. So if you think that those ambulances were also not being able to deal with blue light calls. So yes, the state of the NHS locally is really, really awful. But the thing is that we do have some of the worst health statistics in the country.
In fact, actually, Thanet also includes some of the poorest wards, most deprived wards
in the country.
Europe.
Oh, in Europe.
Exactly, which is one of the reasons why Thanet received redevelopment funds
from the EU
during the 1990s. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Which makes it all the more ironic
that they voted
people here voted so strongly
to get out,
yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy. But the thing is that with dentistry, having your mouth healthy is so vital for your health and well-being. For your cardiac health, for your general health. I mean, people don't realise that your mouth is one of the dirtiest is the dirtiest part of your body.
Dirty is probably the wrong word, but it's full of lots of bacteria.
Yes. So
it's about 250 main different types of bacteria.
And so, it hides in your gums. People don't actually realise the importance of taking good care of your mouth in order to sort of free it and keep it as clear as possible of bacteria. And so many people smoke. So it's one of the things that I found really interesting in Thanet is I had never, ever seen so many people with teeth missing.
Yes.
I'm afraid it's really, really, something that seems... I've just never ever seen it before.
No,
I'm a health visitor.
Yes.
I mean, I've actually worked. I worked in one of the really poor areas in Southwark. Old Kent Road, all of the council estate.
But this is part of the thing that I was talking about.
Yes.
That in London, even though there are areas of great deprivation there, and the NHS is overstretched there, because that's where you get the teaching hospitals there,
yes.
and they're completely up to their eyeballs.
Oh yes.
But at least the health service there receives disproportionate
better funding.
Here,
Yes.
not only is there no prevention,
Yes.
which is one of the big problems that you can
Yes.
say about the NHS generally,
Oh
is
yes.
that they're crap at prevention.
No, they don't prevent.
But they don't actually have the health response. They don't have the service there if you actually need them where prevention has failed, for instance. So I mean, even finding a GP here at the moment.
Well, you don't have much choice. But also, I'm afraid, because they don't have, as you know, I'm all about people preventing, in order to take care of their health and their minds and etc. But the thing is if you go to the GPs, I don't know that it's within their remit to prevent. They don't, or else they're so weighed down they don't think about it.
Well, you see, you're right, and again, generally, I mean, GP, general practice, it does have, it has a function because it's like a gatekeeper to a whole load of services, right?
Yes, that's it.
But in Thanet, I think the position is actually worse than that because many services have been subcontracted to private companies, and indeed, some of those private companies have not received adequate funding. And in fact, I can't remember the name of the company that manages acute services at QEQM, but that is actually exiting its contract early in December. And if you consider that the NHS is already up to its eyeballs in emergency patients at the moment, and that the period from December onwards is the busiest time of year,
Yep.
What the hell are our health services going to be like this winter when the cold weather finally sets in?
Oh, well, but as long as everybody's had their flu jab.
Ugh.
It's amazing. Because the fact that they want to virtually immunise everybody against something with a vaccine that actually is hugely questionable.
Yes.
And not to actually equip anybody with any guidance on how they can boost their immune system.
No.
But we need to.
Well,
we've got plenty of
we've got
grist
plenty of
from other
opportunity.
mills.
In the meantime, I will just contemplate
having your tooth removed.
This is the first time I'm having anything serious done to my teeth, and
Really?
and I'm not looking forward to it.
Yes.
It doesn't fill me with terror.
No.
But
it's an assault on your body, though, isn't it? And I think that's one of we don't sort of honour that, the fact that we're this being, and actually we demean and diminish having things done, like day surgery. I mean, you're having, sort of tooth surgery, if you like, but day surgery, the idea of being able to sort of like have bits of your body removed and be sent home, that afternoon to care for yourself and be back at work within, sort of like 2 days or something like that. We are not automatons. We are not just this cog in the economic wheel. So, actually, yes, I have sympathy for the impact of having your tooth removed.
I probably will actually go back to work to take my mind off it.
Oh, yes.
Even if I am going to be, due to anaesthetics, a dribbling wreck. Because I can't imagine I'll be dribbling much more than I would normally be, so it'll all be fine. Anyway, next time I see you, I'll be
toothless.
I'll be missing that particular tooth anyway. So have a good one. Bye for now.
Bye.